Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick from Johns.
Let's go.
There she is, people. Hear that? There goes the gun. B for bang. She's away. Welcome to the Johns Family Podcast for another week. I hope you're all keeping well. Isn't it nice? You can start to feel that little bit of... feel that spring in the air. Everything starts to change. Feels better. Even the water temperature's just started. Well, it's actually not warming up.
No, it's freezing.
I jumped in the water, nearly dead, almost burnt my back. Speaking of it, if people are watching, by the way, via the YouTube, is that what it is, Gav? The YouTube.
The YouTube.
The YouTube.
God, he's so
just letting you know that at the moment, like if I'm looking greasy and the hair's a little bit all over the place, it's because Trisha's applied some stuff on my body tinea,
Peveril.
which is basically
For his body tinea.
My body tinea, people, is out of control. I was hit with the realisation the other night, Hindy always gets a dry back, so at the end of the show he gets Fletch to put moisturiser and rubs moisturiser on his back, and last week I had the itchy back and I took my shirt off, said to Fletch, can you rub something to me? He goes, I ain't touching that.
It's only taken about 6-7 years.
Yeah. It comes good quick, though, with that Peveril stuff. I had a bit of tinea there for a while.
Yeah, I know, but he's had it for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How you going, Jack? What's doing, man?
Oh, how are you, fam? All no, I'm good. I'm well.
Good.
Any tinea?
Nah, just ringworms.
I was about to say,
I'm just joking. They're all gone.
Bit of eyeshadow.
Ringworms are gone. We don't wrestle this time of year, so less ringworms, which is
A
wonderful.
little bit of tinea between the toes. Tinea between the toes. That was a real big thing when you were a kid. Not so much of it anymore.
Well, didn't you? Because you spent some time in a caravan park, like at the caravan up at the bay.
Yeah, you had to wear thongs in the shower.
In the shower.
Yeah. The soccer players down in Melbourne used to... So when we'd go in the shower, we'd just be barefoot in our budgie, smugglers and stuff, and then they'd always come in and they'd always have slides on and thongs, wearing them in the ice bars and in the spa and stuff.
Did you share spas and ice
Yeah,
baths?
we shared. That's why, and showers. So it'd be like a shower there, and then like an ice bath and a spa.
Sounds like an erotic movie.
So then he...
Okay, what happened next?
And
Was
then,
there a lounge somewhere?
No, that wasn't a lounge. No, that wasn't a lounge. There was a big
Conversation pit.
There was a big swing set off to the right as well.
I love it.
But we actually have a nice little introductory question today, Trish. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, I love that, Cooper.
If you were a potato dish, which would you be and why?
Can I lead off on this?
Sure.
I've gone twice cooked baked potatoes, baked in duck fat.
knew you'd do that.
Mate, honestly, if it's not chips and it's not baked potatoes, I just don't go there. I'm not. Actually, I do like your.
Mash.
I do like your potato bake.
Thank you.
As long as it's burnt. I know.
Well-
I just don't like the texture of potato when it's mashed potato. They serve it to me in hell.
Well, you know what? That's really interesting because, as a matter of fact, I am potato bake.
What was your reason?
Multi-layered, a bit of onion in there, and a bit of spice with the French onion soup.
Oh, nice.
And a bit of
bake-
crusty top.
Yeah, a lot of crust.
Yeah, big time.
Too much cheese on the taco. Jack?
I've gone one with cobber here. I've gone the baked potato as well, but I've just gone the baked potato with sour cream in the middle of it.
Oh, nice.
I think that alongside a good steak is always...
You're not talking about a
perfect.
jacket potato, Jack, are you?
Yeah.
With the cream
like
in
a
it.
baked potato with sour... Yeah, like a jacket potato. I always just call it just a baked potato.
No,
anyway.
that's not. That's a jacket potato. Matt's he's a deep fried, twice cooked duck fat.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Jacket
okay.
potato. They wrap it in aluminium
Yeah.
foil. They put it in the oven,
yeah.
and then you put the
Do you,
stuff in there.
do you remember,
Perfect.
boys, when you were younger, I used to make a jacket potato and we'd fill them.
Yeah.
Oh, God, never forget
You
it.
can put sour cream, ham in them, or you can do a bolognese in them.
Yeah.
Great dinner idea for parents with kids.
There used to be...
Easy, simple. Inexpensive.
There's like a restaurant called Spud Bar. I used to always order it down in Melbourne. You go to, it's just a giant, basically jacket potato, and you put whatever you want in.
Yep.
There was a nacho themed
Yep.
one, so it'd have like salsa and jalapenos and all this sort of stuff.
Jalapeno.
Are you saying like it was almost like buffet style, so you got it and then you filled it with whatever you wanted?
No,
Yeah,
they did
tell
it
them.
for you. Do you tell them?
Well, I think
That's a good
well,
idea.
could that be a business? Could that be something we do? Spud Bar, where you get the potato at the start and you go through and you fill it with whatever you like.
That's what this place was.
Yeah, but I think these buffet sort of things are out of fashion now because there's like hygienic things, and then now with COVID even
Okay.
more so, they don't want you to touch
Yogurt
it.
Land
Right,
/ Spud Land.
How about we call it, rather than live potatoes, why don't we call it the car bar? So you've got jacket
Carb.
potatoes and you've got pasta, and you walk along rather than do yourself. You go, bit of that, and a bit of that. Oh, my God.
That sounds good.
Copyright it.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah,
a place
good.
in Newcastle called Taters that used to have them.
Taters.
Oh, that's right. I
Taters.
remember
Yeah.
that.
Before I had children, before I knew you, long time ago.
Could I just point out, you know what I reckon is a really underrated pub meal? If you could, is it a meal? Yes, it is a meal. The nice crispy potato wedges with sour cream and chili sauce,
sweet chili sauce. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a meal. I call it a
No.
side or an entree.
It's a snack.
Yeah, it's good though.
It is good, yeah. They got to be crispy, though. You can almost cook them in duck fat, I reckon. Wedges in duck fat.
I like it. Do you know why they twice cook potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes it healthier for you.
Starch.
Yeah,
Starch.
thanks.
Lower carb.
Sorry,
There you
anyway.
go. Yeah, it's like you told us before, Cobra, on this podcast.
Yeah, Dad loves them twice
Sorry,
cooked.
guys.
He just likes to share his information.
No,
Be
I
nice.
agree with you. My potato dish was actually the potato scallop. You get
Scallop.
potato-
Scallop is in Graham Yallop.
Scallopini.
Scallop. Potato scallop.
Yeah. Sorry, potato scallop. And while we're on the topic of potatoes, quick fun fact. In Germany, do you know how potatoes became popular?
No.
So they used to feed, because they were grown out of the ground, potatoes, they thought they were like not a very nice, they thought they were,
Yes.
in commas, a scum food. So they used to feed it to pigs and things like that. And then the king decided to put guards around his potato garden, and all the, it was almost like, it was like marketing, but in those times before technology. And all the villagers thought, wow, if the king's protecting his potatoes, there must be a real royal food. So then they would go and break into his potato farm, steal the potatoes, and then it took off from there. It became a really good
Our
dish.
friend Jan told us that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
It actually increased the population of Europe 4 or 5-fold because of the fact Christopher Columbus brought the potato back from the Americas, and it was in cold areas of Europe, it grows under the ground. That's what was crucial.
Wow,
That's right.
interesting.
And they're quite easy
Yeah,
to...
actually, a very funny fact I learned about Christopher Columbus last night was in his journals, for those out there that have read the Christopher Columbus journals,
plentiful.
the religion and God mentioned 14 times, gold mentioned over 150 times.
What's that got to do with it?
Yeah, no, just
What
I don't know,
motivated
it's just
him?
a fact. He loved, gold fever. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, Columbus
That was
was
what
a
drove
Spaniard.
him.
That was the thing. They say when the Spaniards and the French and the Portuguese went in and colonised a place, the first thing they took was all the silver and gold and what have you.
Well,
Anyway.
very interesting. Now let's
Well,
stop being
Things
informative
haven't changed much.
for a little bit. Trish, Matthew, let's start off with your week.
Oh, well, we were up in Brisbane.
We had, honestly, the best weekend. We went up to Young Joseph, his fundraiser.
Yeah.
It was so good. Trish,
was a great day.
You did an amazing job putting together. You and a number of people put
Yeah.
it together. Massive shout out to the NRL. I tell you something. The NRL sometimes can get a bad rap.
Oh.
We know this year. But anyway, sorry, boys. Didn't want to offend you and your union. Anyway,
Pay us what we deserve. though.
yeah, poor buggers. Anyway, they chipped in. You have got no idea how much great work they did for us.
Oh.
Now, Jack, you would love this in particular, right up. After the show, what they did, the Caxton Hotel, the Farquhar family, they put on a show upstairs at the Caxton, and they put a singer on. And so once the show was over, we went across there. I had the coat on.
Danny Fifi.
Danny Fifi.
Yeah, no, he volunteered to do that
he
for us. He was a
volunteered.
good man.
And I said to Trish, it's getting quite hot. I'm going to go back, and I went back across the Gambaros where we were staying to take my coat back. As I'm getting there, this guy walks in, right, into Gambaros, and he's standing at the lift, both of us, and I turned to him and said, "Oh, here you go, mate." Turns, it's Alex Lloyd, the singer, who I'd met before. Said,
Amazing.
"Thanks, Trish." And
In case you didn't
Any
know.
key will do.
and I said to Alex, "What are you doing, mate? What are you planning?" He goes, "Oh, I might be for a couple of days. I've got a show tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sort of sitting in the room having a beer." And I said, "Well, mate, because I was pissed by that stuff. I said, mate, come across the road, bring your guitar and put on a performance. And he was like, oh, okay, maybe. Anyway, he must have jammed a few into him up there. Next minute, he appears. He's got the guitar and away he goes. It was, in the words of Alex Lloyd, amazing.
Honestly, I didn't realise what an incredible voice he has. He sang Hallelujah. Oh,
Mate, poor old Danny Fifo standing there going, okay, guys, can we get back to the action now?
yeah, it was amazing.
What about you, blokes?
Oh, I did it again.
Jack, what about you? What do you got?
Well, we had the game over the weekend. It was Old Boys Day, and I played in the reserve grade beforehand, and then the NRLW, who won, were in between us and
How'd
the
you
NRL.
go?
We got beat last round of the
that's
season. It's a bit, not great, but it is what it is. And then I went up and I proceeded to follow Daniel Abraham straight up to the Old Boys box.
Oh.
And fair to say there were a few very excited gentlemen up there.
Who was best on ground, Jacko?
Tony Butterfield was in great form, actually.
Butterscum.
Surprised me.
Who was worst?
Worse? Kenny Kickchase,
Oh, I
who
love
I met for the
Kenny.
first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your godfathers, Adam Muir and Stephen Crow, I imagine they were winding up quite a bit.
Yes, yeah. I ended up leaving them while I watched the game, and then after all the celebrations, after the boys went 8 from 8, I went and proceeded to have a beer with them at the Green Roof later that night. Very, very funny. Those two, I left them very early. I imagine they were last men standing.
Yeah. Well,
can see
maybe
why-
not standing.
Why, Matt, thought it was a really good idea to give you 2 godfathers.
Yeah, let's think about that for a minute,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So you had 2 teammates and you couldn't split them. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I just thought there was...
Why did you?
Okay, so we went to have a beer, went over to the Stockton. There's a great pub there, people called the Wash Tub. You go across there, it's very good, got a good jukebox. So we went across, and I went across, and I was going to say to Crowie, mate, you know, your godfather and all the rest of it.
No, you don't tell
but
people they're going to be godfathers.
anyway,
You ask them if they would like to be.
Anyway. So we went across to the Wash Tub, and I'm about to tell Crowie. Next minute, Hertzie came up and goes, mate, I'm so excited. So mate, who you thinking about being godfather? And I went, oh no. And I went, you know what, mate? Both of you. I can't split you and Crowie. See, they're both unreliable. So I thought if we do both of a double
Someone
chance.
might come
2
out.
negatives make a positive.
Yeah. What are you, Coops?
Well, my week, I've currently been coming up with my Mad Monday costume for this week. Mad Monday's just around the corner for us. So I've been coming, we got a duo theme. So
Who are you pairing with?
I'm pairing with Carl Lawton.
Oh, you love him, don't you?
Beautiful
He's
Carl.
one of my favourite
Bit of a bromance there, isn't there?
Yeah, he
is
does love him.
A couple of
Burgeoning.
things. We were going to do Batman and Joker. I was going to go as Joker, but people said that wasn't enough effort.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite
Who
a
said that?
You know what? Oh, no, it's not the effort. I think it's just too on the nose.
too standard.
No, I disagree.
there's two-
Because it's not like he's
when it-
Robin.
Well, I got to do a.
There's always a
gotta do face
Batman.
paint.
When you do
Yeah.
duos, there's always a Batman and Robin or a Batman and the Joker.
Oh, is there?
Go do something that no one's seen.
I wanted to do
Yeah.
Batman and Bane. There's a Bane costume
good.
for $300 though, and I
Oh.
thought, nah, probably just a bit out of my price range.
It's a big commitment.
You know what you do sometimes to a fancy dress? You go there as a famous person that nearly everyone has no idea what they look like. I went to a show one night as Kenny Loggins, and it was like they're all going, "Oh yeah, cool, Kenny Loggins," but like no one really
he
knows
looks
what
like.
Kenny Loggins. So you could go as to a Mad Monday at the football club. Should go as Hall and Oates.
Yeah,
No
but,
one would have a
Oh,
clue.
they'd be.
but
that's
see, there's
good.
punishments for not getting there.
Oh.
And the punishments would be quite harsh.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
well,
you
gotta
don't
play-
want to be
well,
getting
you
punished.
got to play for Manly again next year.
Hey, what?
Oh no!
What
please
time
no.
will you start?
10 a.m. probably.
Oh.
Yeah, get stuff done then. But another thing, I was down at Alimento's picking up some Italian food the other day, and the Duke, Jake Duke, was down there with one of his mates.
Was he?
Yep,
Does he
down
live
there.
around here?
Lives in Freshwater, the
Oh, does
Duke.
he?
And I went up and said g'day. We were talking, and we were talking about Dad at the birthday party the other day. And I said, "Oh, what about Dad doing karaoke and stuff?" And he goes, "Oh, did he tell you the other story?" And I said, "Yes, but I can't remember. What can you remind me what it was?" And he said, "Oh, well, he was there, and he was holding court, telling all these stories. And one of my friends, one of Jake's friends, was sitting there, and he had a prosthetic, like a plastic eye. So he,
Oh, Matt.
so he put like when Dad wasn't looking, he must have been pretty blind. I thought, we'll get away with this. We'll put the prosthetic eye into Dad's drink. So he put it out and popped it into Dad's drink. And when Dad got down to the bottom of his beer, he was just laughing, started drinking it. The whole time he knew it was in there, and then just popped it and looked at the guy with the prosthetic eye, and Dad was just sucking on his eye.
Oh.
And he said he just popped it out and just popped it straight back in the bloke's eye.
Like a knife fetish. I said, mate, by the way, mate,
Is
you
that
got great.
unhygienic?
No, it's fine.
what?
I think it's clean back
Sitting
there.
in someone's skull, it's fine.
Yeah, the retina. Before we go to a quick break, Cooper's Nasty Review this week. I had a bit of stuff, but I actually changed it last night. We had Brandon Smith over last night for dinner, and
Good to see cheesy fries.
Le
it was
fromage.
it was good to
As
see.
he'd
him.
like to now be known as.
And okay, and
No, he did.
That's what he calls fromage.
Le fromage. Because there's a couple of French guys that have joined the Roosters, and so they're teaching him French.
yeah,
He was going around telling us every vegetable and fruit he knew.
He was getting mixed up with his Italian a little bit too. Parmigiana? That's French.
Oh,
You go,
yeah, we-
No,
nah.
it's Italian.
no, he still thinks it's French.
It's
I think he
not.
still does, but he's an idiot. But
He's not an idiot. he's
so the
very smart.
nasty review is for him. We're playing a game called Articulate. If you're familiar with the game, basically you might get something. So you might get an object on this card and it says table. And without saying table, you have to describe to that person what it is. So you say, you put things on it and you have to guess what it is. So some of the wine, Brandon was my partner, and me dead, he was probably the worst partner I've ever had in a game. A couple of key mentions to him. He said, on this one we had people, and he said, New Zealand's best cricketer, and I started rattling off all these cricketers. No, and then it was like time ran out. We said, who was it? And he goes, Sir Donald Bradman.
He goes, he's a Kiwi, isn't he? I said, how dare you?
Yeah, that was what he struggled with. The people.
Yeah, he didn't know a lot of people.
No.
But my favourite, this was the best thing ever. I was trying to, the answer to this was Clint Eastwood, this person. And I tried to persuade him by saying Wayne Bennett's lookalike. And I thought he was going to get it in a heartbeat. And he goes, Jason Statham? And we stopped the game and we said, how the does Jason Statham look like Wayne Bennett?
And then he thought you meant, I don't know how, Darren Lockyer.
Yeah.
That's what he actually explained.
That's
When
a
you
wicked
said
week.
Wayne Bennett, he got a picture of Darren Lockyer in his head for some reason.
Well, it was
Didn't
horrible.
work.
He was horrible to work with, and I won't be doing with him again. Well, on that note, let's go to a quick break, and we'll come back with Jack's 5-1. Welcome back to the podcast. Jack, last week your 5-1 was a big fan favourite. Lots of feedback. What have you got for us this week?
Yeah, I thought I'd back it up and we go guess the three again. It was a bit of a hit last week, so I've got a new list for you, and we'll lead off with Matthew this week. We all remember the rules?
Nah, let's regurgitate it.
We'll rehash
All right, so
it.
the rules, I'm going to give you a musician, band, artist, and their top 3 listened to songs on
that's right.
Spotify.
Yeah.
I've got them right here.
Gotcha.
And you're going to take a moment and
Yep.
you will write down your 3.
Yep.
And the best out of 3 for all 3 rounds
Okay.
wins. So there you go.
Got it.
Okay, the first band musician group is going to be Guns N' Roses. Matthew, you kickstart.
I'm going to go Sweet Child of Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, and November Rain.
Okay. Cooper Johns, you go next.
Is Paradise City is one
Take
of those
me
as well?
down to
Okay.
Paradise City.
I'm going to go Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City, Welcome to the Jungle.
Okay. Trish Johns.
I went, You Could Be Mine, November Rain, and Sweet Child of Mine.
Okay.
Whatever.
For that round, Matthew, you scored 2 out of 3.
Okay, sweet.
Cooper Johns, 3 out of 3.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
And me?
1 out of 3, Patricia.
Jesus.
You only got Sweet Child of Mine
God
there.
damn.
The three were Cooper's were Sweet Child of Mine, Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Well done, Coops.
The next is Matthew. You lead off again. Michael Jackson.
I've gone Thriller, Billie Jean, Black or White.
Okay.
I've left
Cooper
out a
Johns.
banger somewhere there.
I feel like there's a little catch in this one. I'm going to say Thriller, Billie Jean, and then I was going to say Beat It, but I'm going to go away from Beat It. I'm going to say Pretty Young Thing.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Trish Johns.
I've got the same as Cooper, but I included Beat It. So I had Beat It, Thriller, and Billie Jean.
Okay. Matthew,
Yes.
1 out of 3.
Oh, damn it.
Cooper Cobber, 1 out of 3.
Oh.
What did she get?
Trishy?
Trish Johns, 2 out of 3.
Oh, 2 out of 3.
What was
It was Billie Jean, Beat It, and Smooth Criminal.
Wow.
Smooth Criminal.
No
Thriller?
Thriller?
I thought Thriller, that was the album, was the biggest selling
Well,
album.
it's a long song, so you got to think about too.
Right.
Who listens to the whole thing, eh?
Yeah. Oh, and it's Spotify. It's not like most successful.
Okay.
Okay.
And our last is Adele. So let's go different. Trish, you can start this one.
Thank you. I'm going to go Turning Tables, When We Were Young, and Hello.
Cooper Johns, you go.
I'll go Someone Like You. I'll go Easy on Me. And I will go
Yep.
Rolling in the Deep.
They're all...
Okay.
He might have outdone me. Oh,
Matthew.
I'm not really an
Matt?
Adele aficionado. I've gone Rolling in the Deep, Smooth Criminal, and Wannabe Started Something. Shitty covers and Wannabe Started.
Guesses. Good guesses. All right, let me just do the scores here quickly for you.
Think you may have mixed.
yeah.
some
No,
of
I
this
think
up.
he probably would have had no idea.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Okay. Matthew Johns, you scored 4 out of 9.
Oh, this is the whole total.
Gotcha.
Obviously,
Trish, you scored 3 out of 9.
Oh.
Cooper, 7 out of 9.
so I got none for Adele.
What were the Adele ones, Jack?
The Adele ones were Easy on Me, Rolling in the Deep, and Someone Like
Oh,
You.
so I got
you-
3 out of 3 for that.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
3 out of 3.
Never mind.
Cooper, you are the grandiosa.
So Cooper Johns went 3-1-3 there out of 9.
313. Wow.
Nice.
Thank you very
Wow.
much.
Who knew?
Who knew? Pink. Pink sings that song as well. Pop culture, Trish, for this week?
Very interesting. There is some girl in the States and her long distance boyfriend. They're signing an agreement, and if you break any of the conditions of said agreement over their long distance relationship, you will be able to be sued by the other party. Tell me what you make of it. They can't break up before the 1st of September next year. You can't, no sexual interaction given or communication of a sexual innuendo with anyone of the opposite sex.
Ball
But they
breaker.
say,
Opposite
but they say
sex.
of the opposite sex. I thought that was really interesting.
Play on, player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what about same sex? Anyway, no neglect or slander, including there are limits on the amount that you can complain about the other person.
Well,
Yeah, I'd just cut the tie right now.
Yeah,
with
you
her.
think so? Like warning, alarm bells.
yeah. So you can't basically.
Send
If
in the
you,
fire brigade, I reckon.
so he can't complain about anything to do with her. Or
Well,
up to
apparently
a
there's a
certain
limit.
point. And what's the limit? How do you measure that?
Might be
Once a week.
you're a controlling psychopath,
Yeah,
but apparently you can't say that.
Oh,
so
wow.
why would you even sign that?
that's ridiculous.
And listener Rose, who we know, James Magnuson's girlfriend,
Oh,
lovely
yes.
Rose, that
Yep.
we bumped into at the start.
Sweet missile. You know, at SEN, Fletch and I are trying to talk him into making a comeback. We asked him the other day, do you think you could make a comeback to the Olympics? And he went, yep. Do you think
How
you-
old is he?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Maybe 40?
I haven't met him. I'd like to meet him.
Early 30s. And I said, 40, yeah, you going. Sorry about that,
Cooper
missile.
thinks anyone older than him's is
And
old.
I said, what do you reckon? He said, he goes, I reckon I could win the 50.
Wow.
Really?
I wish you
What,
would.
the over
Yeah,
50s?
and I said, mate.
Oh,
I
you
said,
are such a bitch,
and I said,
Cooper.
mate, we'll sponsor you. I said, we'll sponsor you. We'll do
Wow.
it. Yeah.
What, you and Fletch?
Yeah, me and Flash. We're the coaches.
Oh, can you imagine? Ooh.
Great legs, James Magnuson.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? I don't know if anyone's seen pictures of him like in those tight swimming pants lately, but I seen a picture not long ago. Great
I'll
legs,
Google it
big
after
muscly
this.
legs,
Man.
thick legs.
Played juniors at the Bulldogs, you know that?
Did he?
Canterbury
So they're
Bulldogs,
listeners.
yeah.
They're big
Shout out.
listeners. Actually, we need to send out some teas for them.
Well,
No, but I haven't
yeah?
told you the thing. So we follow each other on Instagram. She put up the best dress up theme I've ever seen for a dinner party she had with some girlfriends, and it's Sugar Daddy's funeral.
what's that?
Ooh.
Yeah, like sexy, in mourning, gorgeous girls. It was very good.
Like mourning the death of their sugar daddy.
Yeah, Sugar Daddy's funeral.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Very
It's
fun.
a lot of imagination.
I'm totally copying it. I've already sent it out to the girls.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to steal it off.
Guy died in a hang gliding accident. What an idiot.
What an idiot.
I got to have a quick one. Big shout out. Just it is popular culture, but ventures into sport. Just a big shout out. And Skoggs, our neighbour, put me onto this. Shout out to 2 young Queensland brothers from the sunny coast. They've done unbelievable things in motocross in America just recently. One is Jet Lawrence, 20-year-old, just went undefeated the 450cc motocross American Championships, undefeated in 22 races.
Wow.
And his brother did the same, Hunter, in the 250cc.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So shout out to Jet and Hunter Lawrence. Good on you, boys.
That's
well
very
done.
cool.
Wow, good
and
on
why
you.
don't more people know about that?
Well, that's it.
It's not I suppose it's not a very marketed sport, is it?
Not in Australia
huge
so
in
much.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge. Who's the motocross guy that grew up in Curry or
Oh,
Cessnock?
there's a couple. There was
Casey
Casey-
Stoner.
yeah.
there was Casey Stoner and Chad Reed.
Chad
Yeah.
Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, Chad Reed.
Chad
Yeah.
Reed.
Chad
Chad-
Smith.
Chad-
Chad Smith's
No.
the drummer of the Chili Peppers.
That's right. Chad,
They're world champions, right?
yes, Casey. I think Casey might have been born on the Gold Coast, but lives up there now. But he moved. The family moved to Curry because it had such a red hot motocross competition or culture there.
Oh, did
And
they?
of course, Chad Reed. The
You didn't get
the
involved?
great no, I didn't.
In the-
Trish. No, I didn't.
No.
Kept away. Football's my thing, and dating. And the great Chad Reed. Chad Reed's father-in-law played Cessnock. Played a season with Cessnock when Dad coached, but was an iconic player at the Curry Bulldogs.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah.
And
Dula
why don't we
Brady.
do another shout out? Jake Javorovich, when this comes out, he'll be playing his 200th NRL game. Shout out to Gerbo, as he's commonly referred to.
Gerbo.
Gerbil.
He's a
Shout out.
lovely boy.
200, and he's just grinded out 200 first
Wow.
grade games, that man, with one of the he has not been gifted a very strong body, that man. So
Jake?
he's been, he is a strong man, but he hasn't been gifted the most beautiful body.
Well,
for
says
somebody-
Arnie. Says Arnie here.
I think he's great. I think he's got a great physique.
Have you
because
seen him
he's-
with his shirt off?
He's short. No, I don't need to see him with the shirt off. But I've watched his tackling technique.
Okay, yeah, Trish, I'm not having a go at his tackling technique. I'm saying, based on that man's body, if you look at him, you wouldn't suspect him to be much like the Cameron Smith mould. You wouldn't suspect him
You
to be a
don't think-
footballer.
I think he's quite
So he's called him
broad-shouldered.
Gerbo. Can I do a suggestion,
okay.
Jake,
Gerbil.
for Mad Monday? Is yes, along the gerbil theme, bring a cardboard cutout of himself and he turn up as Richard Gere. He can be the gerbil, and Richard Gere.
Unfortunately, a lot of the boys wouldn't understand that reference.
No, well, that's all the better.
Yeah,
You explain it to them; they can have a laugh.
I actually seen Siebes come out in the media, Anthony Seibold, and he said, Jake, you wouldn't suspect, in all the fitness, he's, comes last on the field.
Does he?
And well, he's not a necessarily fit person. And in the gym, he's one of the weakest in the gym. And then Siebes throughout
Jeez.
but like what he's done on the field is amazing. He's all mental. But Siebes threw out a little comment going, I reckon I could lift more than him in the gym. I'm going, I don't know about that, Siebes.
Not sure about that, Siebes, you sweaty mess.
Father, your predicament of the week before we go away.
Predicament now. Just think about this one for a second. I just finished that book today. Took me a long while to get through it. The Last of the Action Heroes. Once again, I recommend it to people. It's fantastic. But let's pretend for a second, people, that tonight we are going to dinner with an action hero, right? A world famous action hero. Who is the action hero you hope it is, and the one that you least hope it to be? I don't know.
Can I please have Robert Downey Jr. in his Iron
Well,
Man
you
outfit?
can.
Oh, yeah, that's action.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I would be thrilled.
I would say.
It's the only reason I stay married to you, because you look a little like him.
Oh, God. Thanks, Trish.
What about, and who would you least rather, Trish?
Vin
God.
Diesel.
Oh, that's good, Trish. Well played. I reckon the one is Arnie. Arnie or Sly. I'll go Arnie. I think Arnie would just be so good. And the least is Steven Seagal.
Oh.
Reading this book, there is no bigger cockhead on the planet than Steven Seagal.
Really?
He reeks of cockhead, actually.
Oh, it's
I've actually got a fact for you on Steven Seagal. I sent this to Matty Kroger today. In 2004, Steven Seagal released a dance hall song called Strut, in which he sings a fake Jamaican accent, and his first line is "Me wanna da punani."
Mate, unbelievable.
Oh, you can't make this shit
We
up.
picked up
Oh,
on
my
him.
Lord.
We interviewed him at Triple M once, and he was late to start with, and we're talking to his PA, and We're going, oh, what's in? He goes, oh, yeah. The guy was going, yeah, Mr. Seagal's a really busy man. Do you know he plays guitar? Just kept rapping him. So then he comes Seagal, and he was such a dead shit, but it was just big noting himself. I said, oh, what's Jean-Claude Van Damme like? He goes, how about we just keep talking about myself? Right? And then we picked up, and I said, can I just make a point, Mr. Seagal, and say thank you for protecting us from the cartels? And he goes, we do what we have to do.
Oh, Jack, did you have any?
Yeah, my one would be Bruce Lee. I want to hang with.
Oh, yeah.
And the least was Jean-Claude Van Damme. He just looks like a nasty and weird dude.
He's weird. He's a very weird cat. Yes. In fact, they had a dinner party at Sylvester Stallone's. It's set in the book, spoiler alert, but there's lots of good stuff. And Steven Seagal had been slagging Jean-Claude Van Damme off heavily, saying he could beat him. Anyway, when he walked in, Van Damme walked up to him and said, outside, stood outside for 2 hours, willing him outside. Do you know Jean-Claude Van Damme, for a while, had he admits it, had a cocaine addiction. He was doing 10 grams of cocaine a day.
What?
Is that a lot?
I don't know.
That's a lot. Ask Trish, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very good with quantities.
Trish's speed.
Well, mine is I'd go Chuck Norris, and then least favourite, probably with Trish, I'm going Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit overdone.
Yeah.
I don't mind Vin, but I think it's a bit overdone.
In a photo finish with Jason Statham. Sorry,
Yeah.
Wayne Bennett.
I don't mind Jason Statham.
Turd.
Why don't you like him?
I just don't.
You're always a bit off him.
Because
He's an old soccer player, isn't he? Like,
No, that's that's Vinnie Jones.
oh,
No,
I
but
like
he
him.
just doesn't appear to me
Tough guy.
to be a tough guy. But he acts tough. Tough guys don't act tough.
Yeah.
Look at your dad.
Look at you.
no,
Anyway.
not very good actors.
Jack, before we go to a break, why don't you bless people with recipe?
Oh, hope it's good.
Yes.
I love it.
In a theme for Dill, we didn't actually talk about it. Dill scored a great try on the weekend.
Yes.
Awesome.
Dylan Lucas.
Actually, had a listener say you need to put more salt in your meals over in your household because he had cramped up badly afterwards,
I mean, it's
apparently.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we're getting to.
Okay.
After he
Okay.
scored his try, if you didn't see, he celebrated, and as he was celebrating, he unleashed a holy quadricep and double calf cramp that sent him to the floor. So I've gone with, I've called this one the Stop the Cramps Pork Belly. Salty, fatty,
Nice.
one way to stop the cramps that night. So this is what we're going to do. The ingredients, very simple.
Yep.
Okay?
Pork.
Very simple. Everyone knows what pork belly is. I'm sure many people know how to cook it. This is a very simplified version. 1 kilo of pork belly, some oil, flake salt, and some pepper if you'd like. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to get that morning of or night over. We're going to get that pork belly. We're going to chuck it in the fridge, let it dry out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The next step, after it's all done, after a bit of time, chuck it on the wire rack, rub over some salt, mixed in with a bit of oil all over it after you've scored it, as you do with the fat. Then simply chuck it in the oven, 230 degrees Celsius, 40 minutes. Bring it out, have a look at it, check it over, test out that crackle, and then chuck it in for another 25 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Yeah. There you are, simple.
I love it. I love that. Very good.
Well, Matt, try it.
Yeah, I'd prefer to watch you do it.
You are very good at it, Trish.
Shout out to the bloke too. There's a bloke that he runs the gates at McDonald Jones every week, and every week I pull in, he either tells me recipe of the week was good or it was shit.
Yeah.
And so I hope I've done you some
I
justice.
hope he likes pig. So, yeah.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you,
Nice
Jack.
one, Jacko.
Thanks for shouting that bloke out as well.
It
Well,
makes me hungry now.
It does. It does. Makes you very hungry.
He actually told me, Coop. Remember earlier in the year you'd done there must have been a TikTok where a listener said you'd be good you should work at Woolies.
Yeah,
And we were
DY.
deciding. Yeah, he was saying that he reckons Woolies DY probably wouldn't have you either.
Thanks. On that note, thanks, Jack. Thanks for your recipe of the week. We might cut it out.
Why are people so unkind?
You little
Oh.
let's go to a quick break and we'll come back with here's shit you can impress your mates with. Welcome back to the podcast. Matt, have you got something interesting today?
Yeah, shit you want to impress your friends with at the pub. Now, Alice Cooper, who is one of just the great guys of rock and roll. I was reading the other day about Alice Cooper. Now, Alice Cooper grew up like a lot of rock and rollers. His mother never really appreciated his music. She was a tough old shtick. She loved Frank Sinatra, absolutely loved him. Now, Alice Cooper, unbeknownst to him, once did an incredible favour to a young boy who turned out to be the father of one of Sinatra's best friends. So anyway, Sinatra rang Alice Cooper up and said, listen, you did this for one of my great friends' son. Hey, kid, I owe you one. And he said, anything you want. He said, well, Frank, I know you've got a concert coming up soon in LA. He said, could I bring my mother along? She absolutely adores you. And he said, absolutely, bring her along. So on the night, as a gift to Alice Cooper, Frank Sinatra, third song on the night, sung Alice's hit song, You and Me, at the concert. And Alice Cooper's mother turned to Alice and went, oh, my God, you're actually a superstar. Yeah. I thought that was nice.
I think that's a beautiful story.
That is good.
Yeah.
Tell the people, you and me ain't no movie stars. It's a beautiful
What
song.
we are
Matt
is
is
what
what we
we
are.
are.
Matt's been singing it all week.
So you can tell that to your mates at the pub
Loving.
if you want to get bashed.
And they'll invite you outside and give you a thorough whipping.
I can't imagine. You know what, Dad? I'll test this out. Next week at Mad Monday, while everyone's blind and we're all having a good time, I'll stop the music and go, hey, guys, I just want to tell you guys the story
Listen, here's the song.
Do you know what?
about a song you've never heard of.
Okay.
You know what? I think some of them might have. You're very disrespectful,
I
young
I
man.
don't think
I've
so.
got to know.
I reckon Jake Trebojevic will know that song.
He would
I think
love it.
And I think he'll like the story.
Okay, I've got something for you for Mad Monday. Righto. Have a yarn to Carl Lawton and see if you can swap partners, right? I reckon you and Sipley, righto. He had a blind on the weekend too, Sipley. I reckon you should go as him. He goes as himself. You go as Tina Turner and sing Sipley the Best.
Simply. That is good, actually.
Write it down.
I won't.
You look good as Tina Turner. You got good legs, Coop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have got good legs.
I'll lend you a pair of stilettos.
So is that funny? Is it? Just because they haven't got a lot of meat on them doesn't mean you don't need a lot of meat to have good legs.
Nah, they're good. No, mate. Why are you taking such offence? They're good.
Yeah.
They're good crane legs.
Ostrich has got great
Crane
legs
legs.
as well.
Oh.
Trish is
I love
like
the
that.
flamingo legs.
Trish has got built like an ostrich. She's
Yeah.
got short body, long legs.
Well,
Haven't
ostriches,
you?
they're one of the fastest.
Yeah, they've also got a big fat body. What are you trying to say?
And a big beak too.
And they can't fly. One of the only birds that can't fly.
I can't fly.
Exactly what it's like.
Yeah, I need to fly.
Okay.
Surrounded with turkeys, man.
Cooper's quiz is back this week, guys.
Oh yeah, here we go,
Yeah.
baby.
Thanks.
Lock it in.
Better be good.
This game, we've played it once before. It's called the Opposites Music Title Game. Trish, you actually weren't here for it last time, so I'll give you a quick rundown. Basically,
I remember. I listened.
okay,
Let's
but
let's just in your words, Coop, regurgitate it for
let's
everyone.
regurgitate it. So basically, for example, Piano Man. Last time we used the example of Guitar Boy.
Yeah.
So
get it.
you use. I have switched a couple of them up to be the opposite, and you guys have to use your creativity. In some cases, they're not exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
But it's up to you guys and your creative minds to work it out first.
Loving it,
first
babe.
person.
And are we
to,
just calling it out?
first person to call it
Yeah.
out wins.
Wait.
Could it be like, what if it's like, if you say like, I don't know, if you say like a bird, if I say like what would you like, is it words that have a really obvious opposite, or could it be quite broad?
I think we should probably just start and see. I think probably
Sweet.
Sorry, Jake.
just opposite
I
of.
I will let you know. None of the titles have bird in it.
I just let you know, Jack.
Sweet.
I've just got a contract. I've just got to sign. Would you mind just going through the fine print for me?
Sweet.
Okay. First title. Poor boy.
Rich
girl.
Oh
Father, you got it first. Trish, you hesitated.
You just
no,
stumbled.
he heard me say rich.
Okay, Dad one. Jack and Trish none. Okay.
Okay.
Death is a dead end.
Life is a highway.
Boom, Trish. Well
Well played,
Oh.
Trish. That was very good.
done. Well done.
Who
Okay.
says that again? That's
Life is a highway.
Rascal Flatts do a version. I don't know who did the
the
earlier
original
one.
one was. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll get there.
Yeah. Okay, Trish and Matthew 1, Jack 0. Delay. Walking in the light.
Running in the dark.
Dancing in the dark.
Oh,
No, that was me.
Who got that?
Yeah,
Oh,
Trish.
bugger off with your split.
Dead Heat.
Bugger off.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'll give it to Trish.
No, you know what? As the quizmaster, it's a dead heat. You're both on 2. Jack, you are now eliminated.
Oh, you are so harsh.
Because
Please don't say that to my son.
this last one, I want it to be between these two. as otherwise,
Alright,
if you guess it, it'll be really shit. Okay. Get your buzzers ready. Mrs. Red Ground.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Boom!
Well done.
Well done, Matthew.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thanks, Jack. Bush.
Mrs.
Wow.
Doubtfire.
That's
Mrs.
fun
Doubtfire.
game. I like it.
Trish, before we exit and say goodbye, is there any feedback?
Just lots of love for the idea of the family podcast taking a trip over to Vegas
Yeah.
for the round zero game on March 2nd.
Letting people know if you want to go over there, it's going to be really something special. What they're planning on is to make it like Australia Week, similar to G'day USA. So it'll be the games, which at the moment they're saying 20 to 25,000 Australians expected to travel there. They're going to try to do a deal. They're going to do a deal with the Las Vegas Raiders, so that their members and fans can go to the game. So they're they're hoping 50,000 people at the game, which would be absolutely unbelievable. But they're looking to have Australian bands there. They're looking to have UFC,
it'll be just
boxing,
awesome.
everything. So people get there, and we're looking to take the John's Family podcast over there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it'd be great. And, of course, the Thursday and Sunday show we're having a look at. We're in discussions at the moment, which would be very, very exciting.
How exciting. Jack, you got anything? A tip or anything?
No.
I was going to say, sounds like no.
Okay.
Good little one on Netflix at the moment. Actually, no, I think it's on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus, The Boston Strangler. Nice little crime one.
It's
for
a
you.
person.
Rom-com?
Nice. Yeah, I don't know about nice.
Yeah, it is. It's about it's a masturbation documentary. Bloke who strangled his own penis. Guys,
Starring Cooper Johns. It's a 20-part
dear.
series. Yeah.
great work today, guys. See you next week, guys.
Love you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Love you.
What I am is what I am. And I tell you, babe, well, that's enough.